It's freezing cold outside, which can only mean one thing. It's time for some November football as we get set for the Class C sectional quarterfinal matchup between the Marcellus Mustangs and the General Brown Lions. Tonight, I am your sole commentator. Tonight, I am Josh Madison. Alongside on the stream is Zach Zabriskie, and over on the cameras is Cody Wheeler. Small crew tonight, but a big game on our hands. Last time we saw these two teams face off was last year. It was in a regular season game. Tonight we get to see them in a playoff game. And not only that, but there's also been a bunch of changes in the rosters since. Some of the players to look out for: the quarterback for the Lions, Jackson Ward, filling in some big shoes from last year. Their senior, Aiden McManaman, graduated from last year. And Jackson has done an incredible job at filling those shoes, currently leading the Lions to an undefeated record. But not to look past Marcellus. Marcellus has had a great season. They've beat some high-named teams, including the number 2 seed in this bracket. So we are expecting a great matchup tonight. Their quarterback, Dakota Wilson, has been in the lead for this team. As we get the coin toss set. As we are finding out where we are set. Lions look like they will kick off from our left side. And we're about to get set for some playoff football. And this will be an exciting one. General Brown has shown a ton of work on the onside kick game. We've seen them recover it a bunch from weeks past. We'll see if that will be any different tonight as they take the field, ready to send this one off. Crowd is getting into it. We got a packed house out here tonight over on the near side. Far side a little bare, but that is also because that is a long trek for Marcellus. But you can see some people around in the crowd still wearing costumes from last night, being Halloween. Seeing some fun outfits. You can kind of see Luigi down there on the sideline. As we get set for some playoff football, they're actually going to boot this one deep. It's going to go all the way. It'll bounce at the 1, and they'll have to return this, trying to find somewhere to go, but he'll get wrapped up inside the 10, and that'll be where they will have to start. They look like Damon LeClaire who picked that up. It didn't seem like they were prepared to grab that. They were going to let it just go into the end zone for the touchback, but a very nice bounce for the Lions, and an interesting kick. I mean, I was mentioning it earlier that they're usually a team to send onside kicks, but they're going to change up their looking to change up their game plan here for the playoffs. And it worked out for them as they have Marcellus backed up at the 8. They're going to start with a handoff, and he'll barely go anywhere. That's Riley Sullivan with the carry. He gets brought down pretty quick. Looks like they'll give him a yard, but it'll be 2nd down and 9 for Marcellus. Just the first play from scrimmage. We're going to see a ton of run plays tonight. Both teams very run heavy, and it has been a key factor in their success. This one a pitch to the outside, and he's going to cut back in. Gets a good chunk, and that'll get him a first, I believe. If they spot him right, they will. And that'll be a Marcellus first down. A good run there. So that'll be just enough for a first. Still inside the 20. They'll be marked at the 18. As they get subs going. New set of downs and a new formation here for the Mustangs. Handoff up the middle. Gets a good chunk there before being brought down. That's Chris Dashna with that carry. And that'll be another small gain, but it'll be a good 3 yards. And it'll be a 2nd and 7. Marcellus taking their time in the huddle. We've seen all different kinds of play styles throughout the year. Some teams just rushing to the line. Marcellus taking their time, wanting to make sure that they have the right play, as this one's going to be a pitch to the outside. He's going to try and cut that back in, and he'll fall forward easily enough for another first down. That's Riley Sullivan again. Plan to hear his name a bunch tonight. That one a great carry. They'll get set for yet another first down. Now on the far side, on the far hash mark. This one going to be another pitch, going to cut it right up the middle, and he's going to find some room, and he is gone. All the way to the end zone, and the Mustangs are on the board. Chris Dashna found the hole and broke free. As we take another look at it, there is actually a flag down back there. You can see that flag get thrown, but he ran that thing like a horse. I'm not entirely sure what the flag is for. It could be, honestly, a holding or offsides on the defense. If it's offsides on the defense, then the play will stand. But if it's on the offense, that's going to be a false start on the offense. So that whole play all gets erased, and then they lose 5. That is a tough break for the Mustangs, and a break that the Lions will certainly take. We'll see if the Lions can now take advantage of this problem. I mean, that was a great run, great blocking ahead of him, just found the hole, snuck through. And Dashna just used those wheels to take off down the field. Now a pass. Barely hangs on, and he won't go very far. Nice pass there by Dakota Wilson. Hit his target, Damon LeClaire. Just caught it and immediately was hit there. Good defense. It'll be now 2nd down. We just passed through 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Marcellus on their opening drive. Thought it was over just a couple plays ago, but now staring at a 2nd and long. They're going to go back to that inside pitch. And this time, Dashna is not going to get all the way. He'll get wrapped up at the line. He'll push forward to get to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe even a yard short of that. And it'll be 3rd and 11 for Marcellus. General Brown making good use of that penalty, that false start there on that play that would have put Marcellus on the board. But now, Marcellus Gonna need a big chunk of yardage here. Gonna drop back to pass. Wilson rolling out, fires. And he got it. Chris Dasna, yet again, this time on the reception. That'll be a 15-yard catch. And Marcellus with a first down. We take another look at that. The pressure got to him quick. You can see that General Brown defense getting to him. But throwing on the run, that's not an easy throw to make. And a great catch there by Dashna to move those chains. New first down here. Go back to that inside pitch. Dashna again. Push forward for a few. Looks like it'll be 2nd and 7, depending on where they spot it. Looks like 2nd and 7.5. Mustangs back to moving this ball forward like they started to do in the beginning of this drive. This time a pitch to the outside. That's Sullivan trying to push through, and he'll get stopped. Forward progress will stop at the 49 on the other side of the field. And so we will see the ball enter General Brown territory, and it'll be 3rd and 4. Yeah, 3rd and 4. Well, 3rd and 3, actually, for the Mustangs. We just hit 6:30 left in the first. Wilson. Handoff inside. Squeaks through a couple, then oh, the ball drops out. Who's on top of it? And it will stay Marcellus football. That was another handoff there to Riley Sullivan. He was pushing through, had a bunch of Lions pushing him down. And at one point in that scuffle, the ball just popped out. Luckily, Riley fell on top of it. So it will remain a Marcellus ball and will be a Marcellus first down. Handoff, this time Dashna breaks off one, pushes through for a gain of about 7. And it'll be another good chunk of yards for Marcellus, and it'll be another 2nd down for him. The Lions making nothing look easy in there. But this run game, like I said, it's going to be a rush-heavy game. Outside of a couple of short passes, hasn't had much. This one, another handoff to Dashna. Cuts around, pushing through, and we'll get another first down. They are going to move the chains, so they do stop the clock to move the chains. So enough for a first down there. Marcellus yet again with another first down. Mustangs still pushing forward. This one, an inside pitch. That's Sullivan. He'll get a few before getting knocked down. Looks like they'll give him another gain of 3, and it'll be another 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs. A lot of 3s and 7s tonight, early on. Dakota Wilson, same formation. Inside handoff to Chris Dashna. Pushes through a man. Throws his shoulder right into that helmet and pushed himself forward for another gain of about 4. And now it'll be 3rd and 3. As we will pass through 4 minutes left in the first quarter. knocking on the door of the red zone. 3rd and 3. Mustangs, handoff, Dashna, trying to push through, gets knocked down. He'll gain about a yard, and it'll be 4th and 2 for the Mustangs. First time we'll see them on 4th down tonight. Ton of 3rd downs, ton of 2nd downs, but this is the first 4th down that we'll see. One thing that we're going to see on these offenses, if they don't get a ton of yards on any one play, these drives take a long time. This one working on 9 minutes as there's another handoff to Dashna, pushing his way through. That'll be enough for a first. And Marcellus will continue their drive. Like I said, their plays aren't really getting a ton of yards, but they're getting enough to get the job done. Wilson, ready yet again. New set of downs. Another handoff to Dashna. Tries to cut to the outside. Cuts back in. Stumbling forward and gets knocked down at the 5. Nearly another run there for Dashna that would have ended in the end zone. But it'll be a 9-yard run instead for a little trip up. And it'll be 2nd and 9. Or 2nd and 1. Sorry. On a gain of 9. 2:30 left in the first. Still on the first drive of the night. Wilson, another handoff. Dashna leans forward. He'll end up at the 1. And the Mustangs will get a new set of downs inside the goal line. This drive has now taken about 10 minutes off the clock in the first quarter. General Brown's offense has yet to even step on the field. Marcellus looking to get in the end zone. It's going to be a QB keeper trying to push through. He's not going to go anywhere. General Brown ready for that one as they break into the backfield and take him down for a loss of 2. Actually, that'll be a loss of 3. Great job there by the General Brown goal line defense to put a stop there as the clock will continue to tick, making this drive just that more time consuming. Another one. This time he's going to pitch it to the inside. Sullivan trying to push through. He's got 3 or 4 Lions on top of him. Will not go down. The Lions do stop him at about the line, but he was not willing to go down. But that will bring up 3rd down and 3 as we have passed the 1-minute mark in the first quarter. This drive, 11 minutes long. Could have ended earlier with a Chris Dashna run, but it was called back on a false start. Now they're going to give it back to Dashna, and he is going to finish the drive. Chris Dashna, touchdown. I don't see any flag, so I think this one will stand. And we'll look at this one. The General Brown defense has struggled trying to keep Dashna away from the line of scrimmage, and that one showing no difference as he just bolts his way into the end zone. As now it will be Henry Lawrence back to kick. That one is up and good. And with 41 seconds left in the first quarter, Marcellus now sits at a 7-0 lead. General Brown's offense has yet to even touch the field. But now they are able to, with probably only a few plays left in the first quarter. That drive, 11 minutes and 19 seconds off the play clock. That is a long drive. I don't even want to count how many plays that was. A lot of run plays. A couple of pass plays here and there. One of them went for 15 yards. The man of that drive, Chris Doshna, ran one in from about 50 plus. Called back on a false start and ended up bringing it in later on a 4-yard rush. As Marcellus kicks it away, it's going to be a low squib kick. That'll be picked up. General Brown, he's got some space, staying on his feet, trying to push around, still going all the way down to the other side of the 50. What a run! Cooper Donaldson will not go down. He picks that ball up from the ground, and he probably broke off 6 or 7 Marcellus tackles. As now this will give the General Brown offense a good starting position for their first drive with only 30 seconds left in the first quarter. QB's keeper, as he pushes straight forward, he'll get brought down. That's Jackson Ward. He'll gain about 3 there on the first play. Interesting choice there on a 1st and 10. Usually you see a QB sneak like that with only 1 yard to gain. But that one, first play of the drive, he pushes forward. As I don't even think we'll see another play in this first quarter unless they snap it quick. And no. So we end the first quarter. The score is 7-0 for Marcellus. And General Brown has 1 play of offense and a kick return that went a good 30 yards. But during this timeout, we'll take a moment to thank some of our sponsors. First, Bob Johnson Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, new or used, it doesn't matter. Bob Johnson's got your ride. They also have $5 car washes on Fridays. May not be open right now, but maybe next Friday. Get yourself a good car wash before that winter pops in. Another one, the North Star Health Alliance and its members, Carthage Area Hospital, North Country Orthopedics, Claxton Hepburn, and Meadowbrook Terrace are dedicated to keeping health care local and close to home. Call them at 315-782-1650 today to get the care you need. As we get set here for the second quarter, this one going to be a fake pitch. Ward looking to throw across his body. He's got a man pushing forward, still not down. Down at the 30-yard line before he's forced to step out of bounds. That's Camden Thomas with that catch and run, carrying 2 Mustangs on his back across that first down marker. Ward under center. Man in motion. This time it's going to be another handoff. This also to Camden Thomas. He'll push forward for probably a gain of 5. And that'll set them up for a 2nd and medium. General Brown back at the line, set to go. A little bit faster to the line than what we saw out of Marcellus in their drive. Different strategy there as this one's a pitch to the outside. He's cutting around and he's gone. Touchdown, General Brown. Tristan Jarvie. Cutting back and forth to the end zone as we take another look. You see just that pitch to the outside and great blocking and just cutting like a steak knife. Moving in his way into the end zone. Looks like General Brown will go for 2 here. Looking to take the lead just over a minute into the second quarter. Fake handoffs. This one falls to the ground. General Brown falls on top of it. And that'll be a fail. Looks like Hayden Moody just didn't get his hands fully grasping onto that football. I'll tell you, with the air like this, It's around 40 degrees outside. With air like this, it's tough to really make sure you're grabbing onto that football. It takes a couple of plays to get used to. That one just slips out of his hands. But now, with a minute into the second quarter, we now sit at a 7-6 ball game. And from what we saw in the first quarter, if Marcellus's next drive is the same length as their first, then the score will stay the same going into the half. I'm sure Marcellus will look to find the end zone a little bit faster than over 11 minutes. But a lot of their runs really haven't seen too much grass. But it looks like we'll see another kickoff here for General Brown. This one, their trademark onside kick. It pops up. And a great snag there, taking the hit while in the air. It's Kingston Walter with the catch. A great catch. I mean, if he lets that fall, that's going to fall into the hands of General Brown. And the momentum would surely shift over into the Lions' favor. But instead, the Mustangs will get the ball at the 44 to start their next drive. A little bit of better position than what they were given last time. Their last drive sitting at the 10. Man in motion, gonna pitch it to the outside, two-hand shove to him. He'll get to the outside, but he'll get about 2 yards out of it. That's Tristan Jarvie getting out there, trying to use those wheels to get out there. Interesting pitch there by the quarterback. You don't see that very often. Instead of that little underhanded push, he kind of shoved it to him. Little shovel pass. But hey, it gets the job done, gets it to him quick, and gets those legs moving before he hits the line. Second down and 8. Inside handoff, that's Chris Doshna. We've called his name a bunch. He'll fall forward for a gain of 2, and it'll now be 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs. Great job there from the Lions. They've struggled to keep Chris Doshna, contained. He's had a good chunk of yards in almost all of his runs, usually up in the 3 to 4 and 5 range on most of them. That one, they stop him at 2. Wilson, another handoff to Doshna. This time, he will push out for about 4 yards. That will be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th and 2 for the Mustangs. As we are just about to hit 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Big 4th down here for the Mustangs. Handoff, Doshna pushing forward. He's got it. Using that strength of his to push through that line and get the big 1st down for the Mustangs. Looking into the stats for tonight, I was not expecting to hear Doshna's name this often, but Mustangs are certainly happy he showed up tonight, gaining a bunch of their yards here early on. This one, it's going to be a pass. Wilson rolling out. We saw this earlier. Throws it. That one, though, will fall incomplete. You could see Chris Doshna actually turning that into a route, trying to get open there. Dakota Wilson just couldn't find someone open and just had too much pressure on him. Oh, a flag comes in way late after the play, and they're going to call it intentional grounding on the Mustangs. Interesting call. I didn't see it being intentional grounding. I thought that was close enough to Doshna to where they would have kept it an incomplete pass. But the men in stripes didn't see it that way, and that's the opinion that matters. As that will move this next play back. Oh, no, they are now saying they are reversing the call. So a good conversation there from the refs. And like I mentioned earlier, they're saying that the throw was close enough to Dashna, who was an eligible receiver, that it was no longer intentional grounding. So a big play there by Chris Dashna to get out there, because that not only saved them from a problem there, but also an intentional grounding, as this one is a handoff to Dashna. He'll gain about 2. And it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Mustangs going back to that play. Again, just that quick thinking from Chris Dashna to just run out there and hope to find the eyes of Dakota Wilson. Save them from a ton of yards there, as they now sit at a more manageable 3rd and 8. This one a handoff, trying to break through, and Jarvie won't go anywhere. Tristan Jarvie trying to push around. He got about a yard before the entire Lions defense got to him and pushed him back. It'll be 4th and 7 for the Mustangs. That is unfortunate. Tristan Jarvie, once he gets those legs moving, it's tough to stop him, but not only did they stop him, they got his legs working backwards on him. 4th and 7, Mustangs. Wilson rolling out. He's got his man. That's Chris Dashna yet again with a catch and reaches his arm forward before stepping out of bounds. Are they going to... Oh, we'll see where they spot this, actually. I'm curious. They will call it a first down. That became a lot closer than I originally anticipated. But it will still be a Mustang first down, a big one at that. You see that one, Chris Dashna, no reason to believe he was not a receiver there. Immediately broke from the line and took off. Sometimes those running backs are hard to cover because you don't know if they're taking off or not. This one, a pitch to the inside. He's going to push his way forward. That's back to Sullivan. He'll gain a good chunk before being taken down. It's been a minute since we've heard that name, Riley Sullivan. But he makes good use of that run, gaining about 5 or 6. The Mustangs starting to move the ball forward with a little bit more intent behind it. 2nd and 5. Man in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. That's Riley Sullivan again. Tries to get to the outside. Gets wrapped up in a flag. Flies in. And that's going to be a holding. Now, it will remain a 2nd down, but now, with that penalty, that'll mark him back to a 2nd and 14. So not as easy 2nd down conversion on this play. We'll see what the Mustangs do. We've seen we've seen a little bit of passing here and there from Dakota Wilson. Obviously, he's not afraid to let the ball fly. We'll see if they go for that here on 2nd and long. He is. He's going to roll out. He's got pressure. Launching. Bobbled and hauled in. Finds his man, Damon LeClaire, for a great chunk of yards there. Looks like they will get him the first down. They'll mark him at the 23. And a big first down for the Mustangs. We were just saying that with that big play needed, wouldn't have been surprised if they went to the air. Wilson has been showing off that arm a bit here tonight. That play no different. This time handed off Chris Dashna, and why not? Pushing forward for about 4. it'll be a 2nd and 6 for the Mustangs. Yet again, they've eaten off about 5 minutes already in this quarter. Their first drive over 11 minutes long. This one also a pretty long drive. Pitch inside. And that's Jarvie cutting to the outside. And he's in. Touchdown, Mustangs. Some great moves there from Tristan Jarvie as we take another look at this. Little pitch. He had a man in front, went whoop, whoop. Little back and forth, cutting himself into the end zone. As they now up their lead back to 7, and with a field goal here, they could up it to 8. With about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Kick goes up, and it looks good, and it is good. And the Mustangs now up their lead to 14-6. Showing off the moves here early on in this one. Lions score on a handoff with a bunch of cuts back and forth. Marcellus says, whatever you can do, I can do better, with a cut back and forth into the end zone. As we have ourselves a game. Just under 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Marcellus getting into the end zone much faster this time than in their first drive. Oh, looks like 10 men on the field for Marcellus. Now they have their 11th. They'll get set to kick this one back off. Last kickoff nearly got returned for big yards. This one onside, and he will fall on top of that. That one, a good onside reception for the Lions, as they are now set up for a drive starting in the middle of the field, starting at the 50. Ward has had a good night so far. Man in motion, starts it with an inside handoff. Cutting to the outside, trying to stay on his feet, pushing forward for a gain of 8. Camden Thomas, we've heard his name a lot on the Lions offense. Pushing for a gain of 8, and it's now 2nd and 2. We'll see how this goes. I mean, so far we've seen Marcellus taking their time on their drives. General Brown just pushing the football down the field. Another inside handoff to Camden Thomas. He'll definitely get the first with a little extra credit on top. That'll be a gain of 4 and a Lions first down. They are moving quickly down the field. Inside to the 48, or the 38, sorry. Ward, pitch to the outside. Trying to push forward. He is pushing forward. Lions now, the whole line is pushing them forward. That's actually another first down. This one, Tristan Jarvie for the Lions. I believe I've been saying the wrong player's name for Marcellus. Mitch Donegan, number 2 for Marcellus. We're now setting up this one, a QB keeper falling forward. That'll be a gain of 7. And now they're inside the red zone with 3.5 to go in the second quarter. Seems like I've been looking at the wrong roster for number 2. Now the Lions set up. Second and short. This a pitch to Tristan Jarvie, who's got a lane into the end zone. And it's a Lions touchdown. Like an acrobat tiptoeing his way on the sideline as we take another look. We saw this play earlier, that pitch to Jarvie, and he is elusive. Look at that, just tiptoeing. Keeping himself in bounds just long enough to get into the end zone. As we'll see General Brown go for it yet again. Last time it failed. Whistle's blown. And General Brown calls a timeout. That'll be their first timeout of the night. And their first of this half. And they will talk over this 2-point conversion. This being a big 2-point conversion, it could tie the game. Or continue to keep Marcellus in the lead. They get set here for the 2-point try at the end of the timeout. Back in motion. Jarvie cuts it up the middle, pushing forward, and he's in. 2-point conversion, good. Tristan Jarvie gets in, and we are now knotted up with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's 14-14. Tristan Jarvie pushing for those yards. He is hungry for every single yard. Speaking of hungry, if you're ever hungry and you're out and about, check out Direct Subs. It's how you spell delicious. All different kinds of ingredients and different kinds of subs. From whole to half. They got it all. Check out Direct Subs and get yourself a good, delicious sandwich. General Brown now getting set for what looks to be another onside kick, but could also be another deep kick, as we saw their first time. With 2:58 to go in the second quarter. It is another deep kick. Launching it. It'll bounce at the 20, and it'll actually roll out of bounds at the 10, which will be a flag. And that is unfortunate for General Brown, as even that booming of a kick will now give Marcellus a better drive, as they'll now start at the 35. And no time going off the clock. However, from what we've seen from Marcellus, their drives have taken quite a bit of time off the clock. We'll see if they have some good clock management in their bones for this one, as they'll try to take the lead going into the half. The Lions will get the ball to start the next half, as they kicked it off to start this game. So this drive, very important for Marcellus, as without any points, they will give General Brown the ball in the second half in a tie game, and will allow General Brown to possibly take their first lead. Marcellus, though, looking to take the lead as they start this off. Handoff to Boschna, who then hands it over to Mitch Donegan, who starts to push it forward before getting pushed back. They'll start the forward momentum at a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9. Little trickery there for the Mustangs, which is definitely needed here in playoffs. This is for the season right here. This is win or go home. Marcellus trying to make an upset here tonight with a win. But they are knotted up with 2:20 left here in the first half. This time they're going to look to pass. Oh, and deflected! Originally looking over there for Damon LeClaire, but Hayden Mooney threw his hands into the air and batted that down. You do not see that very often. That is the danger of the short pass. You have that offensive line right and the defensive line right there, who, if tall enough, can just bat that down. You don't see it often, but that is going to get General Brown into it. 2nd down, Boschna pushing forward, but he'll only gain 2. He has had a good chunk of yards almost every time he's taken a run. But on this one, they stop him, and it'll be 4th and 8. As that will be a General Brown timeout. Sorry. Their 2nd of the half, as they want as much time as they can to discuss this 4th down. There's been 2 4th downs for the Mustangs, and they've converted them both to 1st downs, as they've gone for them both. And we shall see what they do here with just over 2 minutes left in the half. We've yet to see a punt, but at this part of the field with 2 minutes to go, we'll see if that changes. Because a failed 4th down conversion here puts General Brown in a beautiful spot with 2 minutes left. They are not out there set to punt. We have seen it before where they just snap it and then punt from there. But it looks like they're going for it. Takes the snap. Rolling out. He's got Boschna. He's got a lane. He's got a 1st down. Inside the 40, to the 30, to the 20. Breaking him off. Touchdown! Chris Boschna does it again. This time, no flags. We'll take another look at this replay. Wide open man, and he just gets the block he needs and uses the speed galloping his way for 6. A huge play for the Mustangs as they now set up for the extra point. This kick up and good. And they now lead 21-14 with 1:57 in the half. I was just saying on how they need these points before going into the half because General Brown will get the ball. And they got him on a great play by our early pick for the IBEW 910 NICA Player of the Game, Chris Boschna. He has had a game tonight. Just getting open there and using the open space to get into the end zone. That was a huge play. Had to be just under 70 yards. As now we'll see the Mustangs ready to kick. Whistle blows. Oh, as the wind knocks the ball over. Now reset it. And we'll get back underway. This one a boot over the head of the return man, and it'll roll into the end zone. Looked like Cooper Donaldson was ready to receive that one. Last time he retrieved one, he ran it all the way to the other side of the field. This one over his head, over everyone's head. And now the Lions will set up at the 20 for a less than 2-minute drive. So 2-minute drill for the Lions as they'll look to score and tie this up before they get the ball in the second half. We'll see if they can. Man in motion. Inside handoff. Pushing forward for a gain of 5. And it'll be second down. Look like Camden Thomas. We've heard his name a bit as they are going to rush to the line, trying to get subs on and off. Second down, man in motion. This time they're going to pitch it to him. Trying to push forward. He'll gain about 4 there. And it'll be 3rd and 1. That one, Tristan Jarvie. They're just going to hustle to the line. Trying to get something here. They need a first. Oh, no, they're going to give him the first on that play. This one, an inside handoff to Camden Thomas. Trying to push forward. He'll get about 5. 2nd and 5 yet again. We're nearing a minute now. Quickly to the line. Takes the snap and spikes it. That'll stop the clock, but it'll now set them to a 3rd and 5. They only have 1 timeout left. They're going to want to save it for a big moment. So a 3rd down and 5. 1 minute and 5 left to go. Can they do something with this drive? Man in motion. Dropping back. Ward looking. Fires deep downfield. Wow. A lot going on that play. Just missed his target there. Not entirely sure. I believe the target was Brendan Lee. Little, I guess, undershot him as they'll look to punt now with 59 seconds to go. And now whistles will be blown. And a timeout for the Mustangs. But that pass nearly intercepted there by, I believe, Otto Moses. Just over his hands and just under the hands of Brendan Lee. Under a minute left in the half. Like I mentioned earlier, General Brown will get the ball when we start the second half. But Marcellus has ran time off the clock like no one I've ever seen. And they have done a great job at managing the clock when needed. We'll see a punt here for the Lions on a 4th and 5. Snap back. And it goes. It'll be grabbed there by number 2. He'll take it around. He's got space. And look at this. Inside the 30. A huge return there from Mitch Donegan. We'll take a look at that. Replay brought to you by Carthage Area Hospital. That one took a weird bounce, was behind the defense, and Mitch Donegan just said, "I'll take it." Nearly took it all the way back, but a great tackle there by the kicker. Stopping him in his tracks. Luke Dupe was the man who brought him down. Sorry. As we will now get set for a 40-second drive for Marcellus. Inside handoff. Who else? Chris Dashna trying to push forward. And for probably the first time tonight, a Marcellus run to Chris Dashna will actually go nowhere. It'll be 2nd and 10. So you can hear some of the fans yelling to watch for Chris Dashna. And for good reason. He has been a menace to the Lions. He'll go in motion. This will be a drop back to pass. Hard pressure, gets brought down, but he'll get the pass away, and they'll get the catch. His top receiver right now, Damon LeClaire, finding him yet again. Oh, looks like there's a little bit of laundry out there on the field. And it's an illegal man downfield. And that will set this play back. If you're not sure, an offensive lineman is only allowed to go so far from the line of scrimmage on a passing play. But now General Brown will call their final timeout of the half. Looked like they had some confusion there on some subs, as they will get set for these last 8 seconds of the half. Not sure how many plays we'll see here in the rest of the half. But right now, it is a second and about 16 for the Mustangs, as they will try and add on some points and be up by multiple drives going into the half. That would be big for this team with how well they've managed the clock to take it into the half with a lead of multiple scores. And they will bump the clock back to 11 seconds. Make sure the Mustangs have the correct amount of time to find some points. So here we go. 2nd and 16. 5 wide. Dakota Wilson drops back. Looking deep. Throwing it deep. Overthrown. Now lucky for him, that will keep the clock with 6 seconds left. So he'll have enough time to run it again. Way overshot his man. Really threw it over the back of the end zone on that play. But it honestly looked like General Brown had a guy in front. I believe that's Lucas Dupe over there on the far side, who was probably the closest to the ball for an interception. But I believe the pass was intended. As there's a timeout for Marcellus. I believe that pass was intended for Damon LeClaire. So we've seen a lot of passes intended his way. He's done a great job with that role. A lot of receptions to his name tonight. But now with 6 seconds, they will go yet again. The previous one only lasting 5 seconds. So if they take that same amount of time here, they should have enough time to run it again if this one fails as well. But now General Brown knows that this team is not shooting for 3. They're shooting for 6. We'll see if Marcellus will change up their game plan now after failing that first Hail Mary try. We will get set. There are, looks like 2 wide on the far side. 2 here on the near side. Oh, and they will add a 3rd on the far side. So they are 5 wide yet again. Dakota Wilson back. Ready to go. Drops back. Has pressure. Rolling to his right. Flag comes in. Throwing to the end zone. And it's intercepted. Tristan Jarvie cutting back. Trying to run it down. But he's taken down as the clock strikes 0 in the half. We'll see what the flag is for. But if it's for anything on the offense, I would not be shocked. Honestly, if it's anything, I wouldn't be surprised if it's declined and the half ends. So it will be a holding on the offense. The penalty's declined, and that will end the first half. An interception there at the end by Tristan Jarvie, possibly to swing a little bit of momentum there General Brown way, as Marcellus will take a 21-14 lead into the half, with General Brown getting the ball to start the second half. But as we hit this halftime, we'll shout out a couple more are a couple of our sponsors: Bob Johnson Auto Group, Direct Subs, North Star Health Alliance, and its members Carthage Area Hospital, North Country Orthopedics, Claxton Hepburn, and Meadowbrook Terrace, along with the IBEW 910 NICA, who are sponsoring our player of the game. And currently, if I had to give one out, it would still have to go to Chris Boschna. He has wreaked havoc on the General Brown Lions in the first half, and he is a big reason why they are up 21-14. And a final sponsor for tonight is 5 Star Nutrition in Watertown. If you're looking to find the right tools to help you get healthier, make sure you check out 5 Star Nutrition. Check out their social media account at 5 Star Nutrition Watertown. They do free meal plans as well. So that'll wrap it up for the first half. We'll take a break and pick it up to start the second half. I am your lone commentator tonight, Josh Madison. Alongside me on the stream, Zach Zabriskie, and over on the cameras, Cody Wheeler. We'll take a break.
At the North Star Health Alliance, we're dedicated to keeping healthcare local. Our multidisciplinary orthopedics team is leading the way with innovative techniques and specialized procedures that restore mobility and empower active, pain-free lives. There's no need to travel for care. From sports medicine to general orthopedic surgery, we've got you covered. With credentialed and board-certified providers across our system, we bring specialized, convenient care directly to you wherever you are. Because with North Star Health Alliance, your health is our mission.
Contact IBEW 910 NICA, your local electricians, for your next project. Achieving quality work through utilization of safety procedures, training, and skills, IBEW 910 NICA represents professional technicians and contractors across 6 counties. You can expect to be on time and on budget for a variety of services, including renewable energy projects, power distribution, voice and data, and more. Servicing residential, commercial, industrial, and agricultural needs, contact IBEW 910 NICA, your local electricians, today.
Hi, this is Mike Perkins at the all-new Bob Johnson Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Outer Washington Street in Watertown. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? If you are, come on in and check out some of our Jeep Wrangler hybrids. We have over 30 of them available, and the lease is starting out at just $399 a month. Check out our all-new touchless car wash, which is starting out at $5 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With over 800 new vehicles available, check us out on Outer Washington Street, Watertown, or on BobJohnsonCDJR.com.
We are back, and we are getting set for the second half of this Class C sectional quarterfinal. And we're set for the kickoff. A big boot down. It'll be received at about the 14. Kind of ran into his block there, and he'll get taken down at the 25. That's Cooper Donaldson with the return. And that will be where the Lions start the second half. First half full of action. As you see there on the scoreboard, Marcellus' first drive took up just about the entire first quarter. And General Brown did not waste any time getting into the end zone on either of their two drives. Marcellus using some good clock management to get into the end zone. Start this one off. Jackson Ward going to keep it himself, run it forward for a good 3 or 4. And that'll be our first play from scrimmage here in the second half. But so far from what we've seen, Tristan Jarvie for General Brown has had a pretty good night, along with Camden Thomas. On the other side, it's been Chris. Oh, as there is a pitch to the outside. And he is going to cut his way for a first down and then some. That's Hayden Moody with that run. Well, like I was saying, it's been Chris Doshna and Damon LeClaire for the Mustangs. Chris Doshna is currently our front runner for our IBEW 910 NICA Player of the Game. His run game has just been a problem for the General Brown defense. But their offense on the field is this time is going to be a handoff to who else but Camden Thomas. And he is going to push his way forward. The whole Lions team pushing him for a first down. That'll be back-to-back first downs for the Lions. This Lions offensive line running like a pride out there, pushing forward to get that first down. New first down for the Lions. Inside handoff to Thomas again. He'll push forward again for another 4 yards. So it doesn't seem too much like the General Brown team is in any rush right now. They are not in freak-out mode, and I wouldn't be either with how much time is left. You still have the rest of this quarter and the next quarter, and you're only down 7. This time it's going to be a pitch to the outside. That's Tristan Jarvie. He's going to cut around, and he'll lay down at a first down and a couple extra. And that'll be a third first down for the Lions on this opening drive in the second half. Down 21-14. They've gone for 2 every time that they've hit the end zone. They've been successful once. This time they're going to hand it to the inside. That's Camden Thomas pushing forward for another gain of 6 this time. Actually, that'll be 5. That'll be 2nd and 5 for them. But them going for 2, that could be interesting if they find themselves in the end zone on this drive, because that 2-point conversion could put them in the lead. 9.5 left in the third as they head back to the line. Ready to go. 2nd down and 5. Back in motion. There's another pitch to Tristan Jarvie to the outside, cutting back in, pushing a man down, and falling down inside the red zone. Tristan Jarvie again. We've heard his name over and over and over. In the first half, we hear his name again and again here in the second. He is not afraid to lower the shoulder and push a man down to fight for those extra yards. Another first down, this time inside the red zone at the 19. Just through 3 minutes here in the third. There's Jarvie in motion. Oh, but they're going to hand it to the inside where Camden Thomas is. And like a Lion Pride, they'll push through. It looked like a defensive player jumped there on the line, but I don't see a flag. So it looks like he may have just jumped straight up and straight down, didn't cross the line. Which will stay clean. And it'll be about 2nd and 4 now for the Lions, trying to push it in. Man in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. Almost fumbled with it, but he's going to stay with it, and he's going to run it all the way in. Hayden Moody with the touchdown. You can see he nearly dropped that ball on the pitch as we take another look at it on our replay sponsored by Carthage Area Hospital. You see that pitch, you see he nearly dropped it, but then he just found the blockers. Gave him a yellow brick road to the house. And we are now within 1. General Brown looking to flip the score to be within 1 the other way. This one a pitch to Tristan Jarvie. He's got a lane. He's got an end zone. And just like that, almost 4 minutes into the third, we now have a new leader tonight, and it's the first time that the General Brown Lions have the lead, as it is now 22-21. To end the first half, General Brown got a pick. That pick was by Tristan Jarvie. That drive seemed to carry that momentum that they got from that interception. We'll see if that can carry that momentum into this defensive drive, as they have their first lead of this quarterfinal matchup. Marcellus, in their first drive, took over 11 minutes to get into the end zone. They got 8 minutes left in the third. Here for the onside kick. There it goes. Bounces high. Tipped. Is it grabbed? Is it Lions ball? I believe it is Marcellus Mustangs football. I'm not sure if he just didn't get a good grip on it and it just fell out of bounds or what. But Marcellus catching a break there on that play. That nearly just changed this whole game around. If that was Lions football on this yard line, we might be looking at a whole different ball game. But instead, it's Mustangs football as they'll start at the 46. Handoff to who else? Chris Boschna. He's going to cut to the outside. He's got a lane. He's got the sideline trying to stiff arm, trying to stay up, leading. They have him at the 1. He is a yard short, not even. We'll look at it again. Chris Boschna. I mean, what can you say about this kid? He wants it. He wants that semifinal matchup. He wants the upset tonight. Refs are still talking about it over there at the goal line. But it doesn't look like anything will change. He did reach for that pylon. Looked like the ref just saw him up just a bit short. First and less than a yard from the goal line. First and goal. Who else? Touchdown, Marcellus. 2 plays. Making me eat my words up here in the booth. Talking about how they've been wasting clock. They don't waste any time on this drive. Finding the end zone in 2 plays. Traveling 54 yards to the house. And they are now a field goal away from being back up by 6. But it doesn't look like they're going for a field goal. They are set up to go for 2. Why not when you got the hot hand like number 12? But he's going to drop back to pass. He's got pressure. He's got a man. He's got the conversion. Damon LeClaire does it again. Dakota Wilson finding his favorite receiver, Damon LeClaire. As you see that route there, he is open like the front door in the summertime. And they will now jump back to a 7-point lead. On this brisk November evening, pretty close to about 40 degrees outside on the field. As they'll get set for a kickoff, we have already seen more scores in this quarter than we saw in the entire first quarter, as that one will bounce out of bounds. And a bit unfortunate for the Mustangs is that will give the General Browns some pretty good field position to start their second drive of the half. Just over 20 seconds ago, they were on the field celebrating their touchdown. Now, they're on the field looking to find another and get back to the same spot. Jackson Ward, under center. Inside, handoff to Camden Thomas, who goes down after a yard. Looked like a struggle there to get it to him on the handoff, but only a 1-yard gain. It'll be a second down for the Lions. You hear this hometown crowd trying to get behind this team. Only held the lead for 20 seconds so far. This one a pitch to the outside. That's Moody trying to push a man down, but he'll be thrown down by who else? Chris Dashna with yet another tackle, and this one will get them down 2 yards behind that line of scrimmage, and it'll now be 3rd and 11. This second half, outside of that first drive, not really going the way of the Lions. They're going to need to figure something out if they're going to want to avoid the upset and avoid elimination and move on to that semifinal game. 6:30 left in the third. Man in motion, stops, and starts walking back. And whistles blow. And a timeout for General Brown. And it looks like the coach, not his happiest moment right now, as he is trying to get this team together. I mean, this is a game that General Brown should definitely win tonight. They are undefeated on the season coming into tonight. It would be an absolute heartbreaker for their first loss to be in the quarterfinals of the sectional playoff and put a quick end to this season. Back in motion, this one a pitch. Tristan Jarvie nearly fumbles it, but he's going to gather it, push forward. That's a gain of 9. And that will be a 4th and 2. So this is the second first down that we're seeing for the Lions. The first time happened late in the first half. They ended up punting it away. Doesn't look like they plan to do that here on this 4th down. Jarvie back in motion. They're going to pitch it back to him. He's going to find his space, find the first down. and gain 5 there. And the Lions will continue their drive. We have seen 4th down conversion after 4th down conversion. One of the reasons that we're seeing the score as high as it is right now, these teams are struggling to put a stop to any offense. Both defenses are struggling. They'll get them to 1st down, and then the team just picks the right play to get another 1st. This one fakes the pitch, looks to pass, throws it deep, tipped, and knocked away. Pass was intended for Carter Munson, but tipped away by Otto Moses. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. A great tip there. Ward just missing his target from a deep pass downfield. 2nd down. Lions looking for something. Jarvie, this time it's a handoff to Camden Thomas. He'll push forward. He's not going down easy. He'll get 4 or 5 there. Looks like they'll give him 4, and it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Lions as we pass 7 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Mustangs trying to hang on to this 7-point lead. They've had a 7-point lead for almost this entire game. Just when the Lions have answered back, Marcellus has had a faster and faster drive every time. This one, another pitch out. Jarvie wrapped up, put to the ground behind the line. First time we've seen Jarvie struggle on a pitch. That'll make this 4th down a little bit more difficult as it'll be 4th and 7. We'll see if they elect to punt now. At the 49, they are not wavering. They are back at the line, looking for it. Another 4th down conversion. Will it happen? Man in motion. Hands it off. Camden Thomas. Oh no, it's a fake. It's a pitch to the outside, and Tristan Jarvie's gone. Touchdown, Lions. We've seen the same play over and over again. And on 4th and 8, they fake it. You see that outside shovel to who else but Tristan Jarvie, and is untouched. And it's back to a 1-point game. Unbelievable call for this General Brown offense as they now set up for another 2-point try. This time a pitch. Moses Moody pushing through. He's in. Touchdown. It's Hayden Moody finding his way in. And that'll put them up by 1, but that's not even the top story right now. What is in the end zone right now. On his back is Chris Boschna from the Marcellus Mustangs. And if he is out for a while, that will not be good for the Mustangs. He has been their offense. He had their touchdown. He had their touchdown and their big play in their last drive. This could turn out to be an absolute nightmare for the Mustangs. But for the Lions, it seems like it's looking up as an incredible run by Tristan Jarvie puts them back up by 1. Less than 4 minutes left in the 3rd. As you see there on the far side, Chris Boschna heading to the sideline. That's never something that you want to see for any team, especially not a player of that caliber for the Mustangs. General Brown getting set for yet another kickoff. And he is going to line shot this one. This will bounce, bounce, bounce into the end zone, and it will actually roll through. And we'll see a touchback for Marcellus. Maybe hoping that if we see Chris Boschna off the field for too many plays, maybe this is the answer. Make them go farther down the field. As we don't see him here on this play, this could be a problem for the Mustangs. Not to say that they haven't had success without him. Guys like Mitch Donegan and Damon LeClaire have had their success tonight. Maybe we'll hear their names a little more here as we start their next drive. 3:51 left in the third. Handoff. Moving around, that's Riley Sullivan pushing through for a gain of 2. That's a name we were expecting to hear all night tonight, as he pushes forward for a gain of 2. That'll be 2nd and 8. Mustangs trying to find something here. As you see Sullivan back there in the backfield, he's going to roll the outside. They're going to pitch it to him, try to get those wheels started, but General Brown's on top of it. And they'll get on top of that one too. Tackling at maybe a gain of 1, maybe not even. Looks like they'll give him a gain of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 7. Mustangs need something here. Deep in their own territory, this is not where you want a 4th down, especially not a 4th and medium or a 4th and long. They definitely need a decent chunk here. He's going to drop back. We've seen this, and it's dropped. A pass to Mitch Donegan. Looked like he had a lane, but it just slipped out of his hands and hit the turf. Looks like it may have been the football's fault, as a little toss there to the ref drops to the turf as well. But regardless, it'll be a 4th and 7. Are they going to go for it? I see no kicker. Let's see what they do. 4th and 7. They are going to punt. It's going to fly up and out of bounds. Is that a flag that hit the turf? Something fell over on the side. It is a flag. On the far sideline, sitting at the 32. I'm not sure if that's his ball marker or if that's an actual flag. Sometimes you do see a flag come out for a ball mark. Looks like it was actually a penalty of some sort. I am slightly confused on what is going on. Maybe. Nope. Just be where they're marking it. It's going to be the 35. The Marcellus 35. Or General Brown will get this one started. Inside handoff. Camden Thomas trying to cut around. He'll get met at the line. He'll gain 1. That'll be all. And there's another Marcellus Mustang on the turf. This is not good, especially at this time. And if you do see on the field, you do see Chris Doschna on the field, which is good news for his health. But that's Matthew Thorpe, who's going to be walking off the field. Hope that he is okay. The linemen for both of these teams have done a very good job for blocks and getting into the backfield. We've seen a ton of tackles be met at the line, as well as some plays go far. And that's all in the trenches down there. 2nd and 9. Lions. Looking to add on to this 1-point lead. Handoff. Breaking off. In the red zone. Trying to push forward. He'll just go down. But that is worth more than just a first down. That puts them in the red zone. with 2 minutes left in the third. They'll mark him down at the 18. Another incredible run by Tristan Jarvie. He has been a key part in the Lions offense. First down at 10. Pitch. Who else? Tristan Jarvie. Cutting up the middle, breaking a tackle, and you can wave goodbye. The Lions roar again for another touchdown from Tristan Jarvie. We'll take another look at it from the Carthage Area Hospital replay. It's been the same play that they've ran, that pitch, but the blocking from this team has been outstanding. And Tristan Jarvie doing a great job breaking off those tackles as they now set up to put themselves up by 9. This would be a huge play. Inside handoff. No, it's a QB keeper. Fakes the handoff, and it's Jackson Ward taking it himself. And General Brown, earlier with their largest lead of the night of 1 point, now sits comfortably with their lead of 9. The largest lead of the night for either team. 1:45 left in the third. But even still, you can't count out this Marcellus team. They've done a great job offensively on scoring points. And after seeing Chris Boschna on the field for defense, it looks like they may be at full strength going out there for their next offensive drive. Looks like they are set for yet another kick. It's Luke Dupe, ready to go. Launching it. It's a high one. It'll be caught at about the 7. He's going to take it out, standing the field. He's got some blocks. He'll get about 13. Or sorry, 17 actually. And it will be a first down for Marcellus as they will start their drive at the 19. So at the 24. Off by about 5 there. So it'll be about a 76-yard drive needed for the Mustangs to get themselves back in this one. They can get a maximum of 8 on a drive, so they can put themselves within 1. There's a minute 38 left in the third. You see Chris Boschna back over there. But this time they're just going to pitch it. That's Mitch Donegan, but he'll get stopped. I don't even think he'll get back to the line. He won't. He'll lose 2 yards. And the Lions are taking the momentum that they've gotten from their last 2 offensive drives and are starting to flip it on to their defense. If the Mustangs can't seem to figure anything out on offense, this could turn badly very fast for the Mustangs. They're going to need something on this drive. Get them back in it. They got their main man, Damon LeClaire, on the outside, but it's going to be a handoff to Chris Boschna, who's going to cut it to the outside. He'll get about 7, which will send them at a 3rd and 5. That's exactly what we've seen from Chris Boschna just about all night. Not willing to go down, fighting for every single yard that he can. He's done a great job. As they now sit at a 3rd and 5. From what we've seen, I wouldn't be shocked to see a pass as we reach 12 seconds left in the third. Possibly last play of the third quarter. Here they go. Handoff. Chris Boschna cutting up to the inside, getting the first and then some. And there is a flag. And it's a holding penalty. And that might ruin this whole drive. a tough penalty for this offense. The penalty is marked at the 29, so that'll sit them back to the 21. Or sorry, from the 31 to the 21. And it'll be third down, but they're going to start the clock, and Marcellus won't even break from the huddle as we head to the final 12 minutes of the game. It's a 9-point game going into the final quarter. General Brown has awoken their offense, and their defense getting a stop has put them in the lead going into the fourth. It's 38-29 going into the fourth. So we'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors of the night. Bob Johnson Auto Group, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get your ride, whatever it is, new or used. Direct subs, it spells delicious. Get yourself any kind of sub you want. With how hungry these players are for each yard, looks like they could use a good direct sub. North Star Health Alliance and their members, Carthage Area Hospital, North Country Orthopedics, Clarkston, Hepburn, Meadowbrook Terrace, and 5-Star Nutrients help you on your journey to a healthier lifestyle. You can start a free meal plan today. But it'll be third and long for the Mustangs as they are going to try and get back in this thing. They need points. It's going to be looking. He's got time. He's rolling around. A flag comes out. He looks deep, and he's overthrown. Riley Sullivan, the intended receiver, but like I said, some more yellow cloth on the turf. And I believe, oh, and another flag comes in after. This could turn into an issue as that is a holding on the offense, which would turn this into a 3rd and 23. And another flag comes out. And after the play, an unsportsmanlike conduct, and the Mustangs' drive has just gone from bad to worse. I don't even know where they're going to set this ball. They're inside their own 10 and at the 5-yard line. Their own 5 for a 3rd and 29. May be fair to say they do have it on a 4th down. I'm not sure if it is a 4th down. I believe with a holding call, it should reset it to a 3rd. It is. So it is a 3rd down. It is a 3rd and 29. The sideline marker originally had it on 4th down, but he has changed it back to 3rd. But I guess it's a fair assessment that this team is going to plan on passing this play, as they have to get it down to the 35-yard line to get a 1st down. And they're on 3rd down, so they technically have 2 plays to do it, but they're on their own 5. So I'm not sure if they would go for it if they fail on this one. I guess it depends on how close they get. But don't count them out. I mean, they've had some major plays go for them without flags. And I'm sure they're going to pray for that on this one. 3rd and 29. It's a pitch. He's going to get stopped as a gain of 1. Mitch Donegan taking the pitch. He fights forward. Looks like they will give him 2 yards. And it will be 4th and 27. The clock has stopped, and it looks like the ref is walking towards the coach to talk to him about something. Ref obviously not very excited about it. Looking towards someone who's not on the field. But it does not change where they are. 4th and 27. They are set to go for it. But they will not. It is punted. And that is a great punt, getting all the way down to the other side of the field. And General Brown will just let it roll. And Marcellus will pick it up at the 41. A stop from the Lions defensively, helped out tremendously by flags. They were all true flags and good calls. But those penalties are what has killed this drive for Marcellus and is what is now giving General Brown a 1st and 10 at the 41, as they are now set to possibly take up to a 17-point lead. 11 minutes left in the game. Man in motion. Ward pitching it to who else? Tristan Jarvie breaking free. And the Lions will roar again. He is gone. Touchdown, Lions. On one play, the Lions have drawn it up again and again. But there is a flag. I do see a flag at the 48. And they eventually pick it up and put it on the 50 for a more specific flag. This may be an illegal block in the back, which would set this drive back and would erase the touchdown, which would be, I believe, the 3rd touchdown of the night being erased. So it's a 10-yard penalty. The touchdown is erased. And instead of celebrating a 59-yard touchdown, it's a 1st and 11 for the Lions, as penalties do it yet again. This time they're going to hand it off to Jarvie, and he's going to break away. And there he goes, cutting to the outside. And Jarvie decides to do it again. Touchdown, Lions. I am searching for a flag, and I do not see one. This one will stand. We take a look, and Jarvie moving back and forth, getting pushed, breaking tackles, getting blocks, making moves like Jagger. And that puts them up by 15. As with 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go, they are actually looking to kick a field goal. The first time we'll see this tonight. It's Lucas Dupe putting it up. It's a high one. Will it get there? It will be wide. So regardless if it gets there or not, it's wide right. And so the score will remain as it is, 14-29. It's a 15-point game. Marcellus is going to need to put a couple of drives together. And they're going to need a stop in between if they want to get back in this thing. This offense that was clicking all first half had an incredible first drive of only 2 plays, has stalled out on their last 2 drives. In fact, on their last 3. As the whole stadium is starting to shake. The ground is shaking beneath me. As this hometown crowd is awake, alive, and loud. As they get set for another kickoff, another booming kick from Lucas Dupe. It'll be snagged by Damon LeClaire, who's just going to run it out of bounds at the 11. Interesting choice there. But the Mustangs will take the ball over at their own 11-yard line. Oh, looks like they'll actually spot him at the 13. I gave him a little less credit than that. But Marcellus needing to put a drive together. And they need to do it without penalties, as that is what killed them in their last drive, as they ended with a 4th and 27. As, by the way, if you are curious, Matthew Thorpe, number 60, he was injured earlier. He is back on the field. Whistles are blown. And it looks like a timeout is called by the Lions. Looks like a sub was not ready or on the field. So they will be forced to use their second of 3 timeouts in the half. And Marcellus will take this time to talk over this next offensive drive. Now that they know what yard line they're starting from, this drive is huge in the decision of this game. Down 15. They need points. They need big points, and they need them bad. They head back to set up for their next drive. Wilson gonna hand it off. Cuts it up the middle, trying to push it around. He'll get brought down. That's Riley Sullivan. They'll give him a gain of 5 on that one, and it'll be 2nd and 5. So a 2nd down here for the Mustangs. Drops back to pass. Looking. Pump fakes. Rolling out. Throwing short. Incomplete. Making sure to get that one out of bounds as he rolled out. So it will just be an incomplete pass instead of an intentional grounding. But it will be 3rd down and 5 for the Mustangs. They need to find something that has worked before. Third and 5. Mustangs need a 1st down to keep this drive alive. Handoff. Sullivan pushing. Not willing to go down. Taking 5 Lions before he finally does. We'll see where they spot him. They spot him at the 21, and he'll be 2 yards short of the 1st. So it'll be 4th and 2. I'm not sure if the Mustangs can afford to punt here. As the Lions fans are in it, getting their team hyped for this 4th down play. Handoff. Sullivan pushing. Lays on top of a lineman, but that will certainly be enough for a 1st. They'll give him a gain of 4 on that. And that will keep this drive alive. As we are nearing 3 minutes off the clock in the 4th quarter. Lions up 15. Pitch. Trying to run to the outside. Doesn't get much. That's Mitch Donegan yet again. Called his number quite a bit. In the first half, we actually saw him find the end zone at one point. But now they set up for a 2nd and 8. Drops back. Rolling around. Looking. Throwing it out of bounds. Can't find anyone there. Dakota Wilson trying to find somebody, but he is struggling in this. Lions defense has given him problems. As it'll be 3rd and 7. 8:14 left to go. If the Mustangs want to get back in this thing, they're going to need to find it quick. Handoff. Moving around. He's got a jersey held, and he'll lean forward. And that will get them to a 4th and 3 down at the 32. They need to get to that 35-yard line to keep this run alive, as we are now past 8 minutes left in this game. And that is a Marcellus timeout, as they'll look to talk over this very, very important 4th down. And I think, one reason that this offense is so much struggling is because they are missing their Chris Dashna, who has been a big part of this offense. He hasn't been at all. Their offense has had all kinds of help from their linemen to their other receivers and running backs, including Dakota Wilson, who's had a few really good passes tonight. But you could see that without him on that field, this offense is struggling to move the ball down the field with as much intensity as they had before. So here we go, a second 4th down. Their second one of the drive, this one 4th and 3. 7:41 left in the game, down 15. Takes the snap, hands it off, trying to cut around. Pushing forward, it's not enough, it's only a 1-yard gain. And the Lions stand proud, as their defense does its job yet again, stopping Marcellus at the line. And it will now start a new drive for the Lions. They will start at the 33. Whistles blow. Is there a shoe? Looks like a shoe issue. They were looking down at Tristan Jervey's shoe there, as he now heads to the sideline. It will be Drew Pauly coming onto the field for him. We'll see if that changes his play at all. Fake inside handoff, pitch to Drew Pauly, who's got some space, cutting back in inside the 15, and brought down at the 13. We take another look at it. We saw this play earlier. Faked us all out last time. This time, it's Drew Pauly who takes the pitch. A great move there, adding on some much needed yardage and another General Brown 1st down, as they are now the ones trying to chew off the clock. 1st down at the 13. Pauly in motion. They're going to hand it off. No, fake the handoff on the inside, and it will actually be Jackson Ward who takes it. And he'll reach out to the 6, where he will be stopped. And it looks like that will keep him about a 2 yards short of the first. So it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Lions, knocking on the door of another touchdown, putting themselves up by 20 plus. Takes a snap, handoff, trying to stay on his feet, diving forward. He'll get down to the 1. I think that'll be where they spot him. A great play there by Camden Thomas, lunging forward for the end zone. Landed only a few inches away from that end zone. Not even sure if you could fit even a half direct sub there. But now whistles come. Hands are waved. And an illegal substitution. Looks like the sub did not come off in time. And that will knock this drive back 5 yards. The coach was just about in the middle of the field, maybe trying to plead the case for his players. And they wave off the flag. So it looks like the last-ditch effort there by the Lions coach worked out, as now they are back half a yard from the goal line. Looking to punch it in. It's a handoff. He's going to cut it to the outside, and he's in for a touchdown as he slips there in the end zone. That's Henry Murrock finding it. As we take another look, all this trickery you see in there lined up as a lineman, but he just spins around for the line and takes the handoff. So excited he slides in the end zone. I think he's safe on that one. I think he's safe. Certainly safe for 6 there. As looks like the Lions are going to give the field goal on second try. Last one a bit wide right. We'll see if Lucas Dupe can get this one through. This one is up. It is blasted through. You could have set him back maybe a good 20 yards and he still would have hit that. As now that ups the score to 51-29. As now this crowd may be starting to set in that they are less than 6 minutes away from moving on. As they now lead by 22 points with less than half of a quarter to go. It will take a lot from this Marcellus team to get back into it. But we've seen some crazy comebacks already this year. We've seen crazier comebacks in history. The game is not over. There's a reason we play out the last 6 minutes. Lucas Dupe, back to kick. As he will set off yet another kickoff for the Lions. This one will bounce and roll and bounce and roll, and it'll squeak through. It looks like Damon LeClaire was ready to pick that up, but it just rolled through his legs, and it may actually work out better for the Mustangs, as the flag will come in for an illegal kick, and they will move the ball up to the 35, which will be where the Mustangs will start this next drive in hopes to put something together to save their season. It will take a lot of something, but it will need to be something. And a flag comes flying in. In fact, hits one of the Marcellus kids in the foot. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. I'll admit I didn't see anything. But the ref who's down on the field certainly has better eyes on the play than I do. And that will make this drive a little bit more interesting, as now they will start this drive on their own 20, and it will be a 1st and 25. Curious on what happened down there. Not making this any better for the Mustangs. Handoff. Pushing his way through. Not going to go very far. They stuff him at about 2 yards. That one a handoff to Mike Aldrich. And it'll be 2nd and 23. As the clock continues to roll. Lions just trying to slow down the offense in hopes to just hang on to their lead and move on to the semifinals. This one, another handoff. Aldrich trying to push his way through, gets hit. A big hit there, and he is down. He is now moved. Oh, and there. He is not moving. As trainers will come on. That looks scary right there. This is not something that you want to see ever. I mean, you could see that was definitely a big hit. It seemed like he was going down and then took a hit on the front, right up near the chest. And he may be out, honestly. Looks like they do have him sitting up, which is very good to see. And he will be able to get on his feet. As he will get some applause as he walks off the field, which, after that kind of a hit, to at least see him walk off the field is a good thing. And we hope that he is okay and that he will be okay. As the Mustangs, dealing with injury after injury, it seems, are going to try and continue this drive. 3rd and 23. Handoff. Another wrap up and another takedown. That one, the tackle by Dominic Morja. And that'll be a 4th and 23. I mean, the difference between the first half and the second half is like night and day out here. As this game is just not gone well here in the second half. As Marcellus with yet another punt. This one will be snagged over the shoulder there by Drew Pauly, and he's going to find a lane to the outside, cutting it back in, trying to find some way to get through, and he'll get brought down inside of the 25. A great return there by Drew Pauly. The second great return from the Lions that we've seen. The first one by Cooper Donaldson in the first quarter. Their first kickoff return of the game. And then that one right there by Drew Pauly to set them up beautifully for a new drive, as hands will be waved and a timeout is called for Marcellus. So they'll try and find a stop there here on a new drive. While they take a break, we'd like to give a good shout out to one of our sponsors. If you are looking to find the right tools to help you get healthier, make sure you check out 5 Star Nutrition. To check them out, find their social media handle at 5 Star Nutrition Watertown. And they do free meal plans as well. Gotta say, as an athlete, that does not sound too bad. And especially for these athletes as well. Want to make sure you keep yourself healthy, both on and off the field. As right now, General Brown sets up for yet another drive, trying to tack on to this lead on their road to the semifinals. It's a pitch to the outside. He's got a lane. He's got all kinds of blockers. One man, he pushes him to the side, and he's into the end zone. That's Jalen Bullock with a touchdown, but as we've seen over and over, you can't celebrate a touchdown immediately. There's usually a flag. As we see actually a player from Marcellus being helped off the field. Looks like Gage Fellows is being helped off the field by his teammates. And I mean, injuries have just taken over this team, taking out player after player, which has not been good for this team. However, the flag being from the spot of the foul was about 8 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. So it will now be a 1st and 12 for the Lions, and the touchdown will be erased. So all it will do is erase some clock, and they're just going to turn this into another handoff, and he'll push his way forward. Yet again, there's Jalen Bullock. General Brown sharing the wealth around the field, getting another first down regardless. I mean, this team has done so well in this second half. They were struggling in the first half, ending it down by 7. Actually, yeah, down 7. But they have marched back and have taken a commanding lead, as this isn't a handoff on the inside. That one, Dominic Morja with the carry, pushing through. He'll get him a few, which will be good enough to get him down to the 6. So we are now 9 minutes through the fourth quarter, 3 minutes left in the game, and 3 minutes away from a team heading to the semifinals. Right now, it's looking real good for General Brown. This one, pitch to the outside, snagged over his head, and he'll coast his way to the end zone as a flag comes in at the 4. That one, a carry there by Marcus Angison. And it's yet again, I believe they call that a horse collar block. And that will erase yet another touchdown on this drive. That's 2 touchdowns erased on this very drive. But the clock has continued to run even after the penalties. So they are now sitting at 2.5 minutes left in this game. Man in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. That's Jalen Bullock. He's not going to go anywhere this time. Stopping him behind the line And that will put them at a 4th and 17 on the 17. So a 4th and goal for the Lions as we will now tick past 2 minutes remaining. 10 minutes down in the 4th. 2 minutes to go. It's a 23-point game. The Lions are looking for a semifinal game. They're going to hand it off. Jalen Bullocks, he's got a lane. He's got a block. I don't see a flag. Is there a flag? I don't see it. It's a touchdown for Jalen Bullocks. He's found the end zone twice on this drive, and the second time's the charm as we take a look at it. This one, another one you can hand to the blocking. As you see, he's just given a beautiful lane to the end zone untouched. And the Lions, I think now is safe to say that they will move to 9-0 and will move on to the semifinals. A low snap. And it will force the holder to run it to the outside. That's Camden Thomas. Quick thinking there as he picks up the loose snap and runs it in himself to make this a just that much more painful 61-29. With a minute 39 left in this one. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of some yelling around the fans. Maybe a little bit of chirping back and forth between players. But here's the kickoff for yet another Marcellus drive. It'll bounce at the 10, roll, 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 and that will be in the end zone. So a lucky enough bounce for them. As Marcellus will head out for probably their final drive of the season. As this one has just ran away from them. And I mean, a lot of that is due to injuries and due to penalties. And due to some great defense and offense from the General Brown Lions. But there is a good reason why General Brown is undefeated. And they have shown that tonight. But you can see some emotion being shown from Marcellus as they are starting to sink in that their season is coming to an end. And you got to feel for them. They worked hard. They had a 7-point lead coming into the second half. And just everything has gone wrong for them as they hand this one off. Running right into a hit. That's Kingston Walzer with the carry. As he is brought down at the line. And it'll be 2nd and 10 as the clock continues to tick down. And it looks like Marcellus is just going to let this clock run down as it looks like they are ready to end this one as well. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Down 31. There's a handoff. Cuts it to the outside. Trying to fight for some. He'll get a 1 before getting brought down behind the line. That's yet again Kingston Walzer. It'll be 3rd down. But he'll get a yard. Oh. Yeah, no, he'll get a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9 as we see the clock continue down. As it will pass 30 seconds left. I mean, from the first half, I mean, this game looked like it was going to be a great one. But it looks like that's it. Marcellus will not take a final snap. They will let the clock run out, and General Brown will move to 9-0, will remain undefeated, and will move on to the Class C sectional semifinals. As the clock strikes zeros. A half that ended 21-14 and 60-29 for the final. And we now have to select our IBEW 910 Nika player of the game. And that has to go to Tristan Jarvie from General Brown. First half, he had some pretty good runs here and there, but that second half, he took it to a whole new level, running for touchdown after touchdown, as he will be our IBW 910 Nika player of the game. A big thank you to our other sponsors for tonight: Bob Johnson Auto Group, Direct Subs, North Star Health Alliance and their members, Carthage Area Hospital, North Country Orthopedics, Claxton Hepburn, and Meadow Terrace, along with IBEW 910 Nika, and of course, 5-Star Nutrition. We'd like to thank you all for sponsoring tonight. We'd like to thank all of you guys for watching tonight. And as for me, Josh Madison, and our live stream operator, Zach Zabriskie, and our camera operator tonight, Cody Wheeler, I'd like to say thank you all for watching and have a phenomenal good night.